how do you craft effective messaging that's going to get your employees to understand that I have certain devices here. Some of them might be my own, some of them might be corporate issued. And to some extent, it might be my responsibility as an employee to make sure that these are patched properly. In other cases, if they're corporate devices, maybe patches are being pushed, but you still need to communicate that to the user to understand what's going on. And those communication challenges are always pretty prevalent. And I would imagine, especially now with the size of today's remote workforces.
Yeah, they're huge, even within the organization. I recall the days where, hey, security's pushing a patch and you could be in the middle of a work product and sorry, the computer reboots. Well, users got tired of that and they're like, I need an option to suspend the reboot of the computer. And then you find through the log files that person that will say suspend it once suspends it 3 more times, which is like, the threshold for how many times you can suspend it. And then it actually kicks them out and then they start complaining. So there was always this battle between security and patch management groups and the user. So how have I done that in the past? I've read a lot. I've listened to a lot of other CISOs. And the way I've come up with was create a security program that actually helps a person protect themselves at home. So give them, like I used to do a monthly newsletter, my past employer. And I would give them the latest and greatest, whether it was the Black Friday scams when COVID came out, it was the COVID scams, and like what to watch out for, how to protect yourself at home. Make sure that you're using multi-factor authentication with your banks or your more secure, things that you want to keep secure, your healthcare records, to use, what's the best antiviruses to use, even free ones or paid ones, and then how to patch your device, how to set up alerts to email you if something does happen, or even for years I was giving classes to parents on how to protect their kids online because they just don't know, and how to use different software applications that could help them create triggers and alerts if they're using words or going to sites or block sites. So I found that. And also, when you talk about phishing being the #1 vector that threat actors are using to get into an organization, we used to just push the phishes out and hope that people either reported it, first of all, identified it and reported it. And then the numbers became so low. You're like, are we really even having a benefit? So I was listening to a podcast one time and a person suggested, hey, let's just announce that we're doing a phishing campaign and we want everybody to try to identify it, even those that, no, it's not, and they usually delete it or they send it, but, send it in to us and say you acknowledge it. So we could at least tell that the training is working. So that combination of training people to be secure at home and then kind of giving them the heads up that we're going to do this phishing campaign, as well as, instead of yearly, semi-annual training on security, having some videos out there for people to go to. I've wanted to implement this, but I just haven't been able to, is gamification of security. It was a phenomenon a couple of years ago and I thought it would take off. I mean, there's some really awesome programs out there that you can use with some cool characters, superheroes, whatever they are, and they gamify security. So that kind of helps people that just are tired of listening to a video, talk to them, push a bunch of buttons, take a test.